I have been a little bit sick, but I still wanted to get this video out as it is the appropriate time of year. I live in a van full time, and I originally started off living in vehicles in Florida. I'm originally from Florida, a very warm climate. We really don't have winters. We ended up moving to the Carolinas around winter time last year, and it was a lot of hit and miss, a lot of learning. So this is what I have acquired last winter, and I've developed on this winter for some different items to stay warm living in your vehicle or van during winter time. First up, we're going to keep it really simple and straightforward. You cannot go wrong with the classics. This is a hot water bottle, and it is tried and true. If you get yourself a nice 30-degree sleeping bag or a below zero sleeping bag, or like a 0-degree sleeping bag, make sure that it is tight. You don't want a lot of extra room in the sleeping bag. You want a sleeping bag that fits you very snug, so that there's less like negative space to keep warm. You're going to lose a lot of warmth that way. So find a sleeping bag that really fits you. And what you're going to do, this will keep you warm all night, I promise. What you're going to do is boil some water. I have a tea kettle behind here somewhere. Oh, you're going to boil some water, okay? Let it cool down just for a few moments. You don't want to pour it into here when it's boiling. So I have a few different versions of these. There's cute teddy bear ones. I have a red one and a blue one that it's like sweater material. They've never leaked on me if you do what I'm telling you. So it has this little plug that screws in, okay? I don't have cork ones. I have ones that actually screw in. And you don't have to take this off all the way. It's actually a little bit tricky to take these off all the way, but I'll show you what they look like. It's just a silicone. It's just like a silicone material, okay? So you only want to fill it up very carefully. You only want to fill it up 3/4 of the way, okay? You do not want to fill it all the way up. So I would fill it up maybe like above this teddy bear's eyes, okay? And as simple as that, you tighten it up really good, and you put it into your sleeping bag, and you're good to go. It will keep you warm all night, and especially the secret is don't get out of your sleeping bag to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, because then you let out all the warmth. That's the hard part. These are relatively affordable, and I'll have some of this stuff linked in the description if you're interested or want to compile a list, okay? Up next, now this was a gift last year, and I made a whole video on this. I had a follower of mine from TikTok send me and Andrew one of these. They make a men's and women's. You could get either one. The women's is just like a little bit more tapered and has different style pockets. These are heated vests. I did not know about heated clothing. Apparently it's a whole thing. Like I said, I'm from Florida, so never in my life would I ever want heated clothing living there. This heated vest was a lifesaver last year. I wore it almost every day, wore it every night. So it came with this really nice case, came with a bag to wash it in, and it comes with a branded charging pack. These charging packs last a while. So this is the vest itself, and there's all different brands, but I will say I've only ever used this brand, Jert, and it's been great. So there's different features, and there's different areas that warm up. So you can turn it on, and it'll tell you like the battery life. It'll tell you stuff like, or you can put it on, I just want the chest part or full body, whatever. I have a whole video if you want to like see all of that. But if you open it up inside, this is the actual compartment that you put it in. You can put it in on either side, I believe. Yeah. So here's the compartment, and then you plug it in. You plug it in like so. Turn it on. Great. And then you can turn on. Let's see if I remember how to do this from. Yep, so it's on. Oh yeah, there's low, medium, and high. So obviously if you put it on high, it won't last as long. Honestly, you really only need it on maybe like medium. And it's actually really soothing. You don't have to keep the light on either. You can turn the light off. It's actually really soothing. It's kind of good for my back pain, honestly. Next is going to be a Mr. Buddy heater. And this is tried and true. I have a video on this as well. It's propane, so there's some pros and cons to that. You can watch my other video, get into that a little bit more. This is the Buddy portable, the portable Buddy. And then there's also a few different ones. There's like one that just goes on. There's just one that goes on the base of this, and it's smaller, but whatever. This works great to keep the van warm. I have a fire extinguisher. I have a carbon monoxide detector. I still crack a window. I have a rain guard on my 2 front windows, so I crack the window just like an inch for ventilation, which you're also going to want to do that for condensation purposes. I'll get into that in a minute. Some people say, oh my gosh, no, these are dangerous. Other people say, I don't even ventilate, I'm fine. So instead of being on the extreme either way, I like to be right in the middle and just, you know, let's be reasonable, use common sense. So I keep this on a nice flat surface when I'm using it, away from any fabric, you know, make sure my dog doesn't knock it over. I never sleep with it on. So if you're thinking of turning this on and you're going to zonk out all night, would not recommend doing that. Just not a really great idea. But it does get the van nice and warm. My addition this year, which I'm super stoked about and I've been using it already, I got a fan, and I will have all of this stuff linked because a lot of you had questions about this over on TikTok. So it comes with a tray. Now, the only thing that's annoying is this tray doesn't fit how it appeared to fit on the photos on Amazon. It's aftermarket, so what do you expect? This sits on the tray like so, and it's heat activated. And then here's a little thermometer to let you know if it's like too hot or whatever. So this fan is amazing as far as its functionality. So it starts to heat up, the heat rises. This fan circulates the heat because where I have this set up in the van, when I'm not using the fan, it doesn't quite reach to the bed as much as I would like. This gets the heat all the way back there, circulates it. I've also noticed it helps minimize the moisture in the van. FYI, if you burn propane, it does release moisture. So when you're using propane heat, you're going to get some condensation in the van, which brings me to my next point. Moisture control. These have been my favorite thing so far. This is a brand new one, so there's not any water in there yet. But last year we struggled with moisture. We got some funky smells in here. I was really concerned with mold. And I just had no idea what I was doing. So it'll be super cold at night. I'm in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So during the day it could be in the 60s, and at nighttime it drops down to 15 degrees. So it's like a really, really crazy, drastic weather constantly. So you're getting ice and snow and then melting constantly. So the condensation is just unbearable. I wipe down the windows. I keep a bunch of these in here, air out the van. It also helps to crack a window. So these help immensely. I didn't have these last year, and I wish I did. I tried everything. Whatever works for you, but this brand specifically is my favorite for the van because this stays on top. They come with a tinfoil lid, and you peel that off. You keep the paper on so the silica beads don't fall out. And I have these in the back of the van, in the front, under the seats, under the cabinets, and man, they really help. This will get filled up, and they do last a while. And I also had one of you send me rechargeable ones, which I use. They're like gray cylinders with silica beads inside, and you can recharge them. You put them on this little machine that sucks the air out. But word to the wise, or it sucks the moisture out. Word to the wise, do not recharge them in your vehicle because it'll release the moisture back into your vehicle. So do it outside, maybe if you have like a generator or some type of shore power. So I don't know. Always have some good wool socks. Always have some good long johns. I would definitely invest in some good winter clothing. I know that REI is super expensive, but you know, I have clothing from college that was like ski clothing, and I still have it. I have some Thermosilk stuff and Smart Wool stuff, and I've had it for years. If you take care of it, it lasts, and it's good quality stuff. So that is just something to consider. You can always layer to stay warm, but I would most certainly say if you're on a budget, this is the way to go. These are like $10. This Mr. Buddy heater was $80. And now when you talk about Mr. Buddy heaters, people are gonna, get a diesel heater, get a diesel heater. We can get into that a whole other day, diesel heater versus Mr. Buddy. But basically, diesel heater, a good quality, safe brand, like a good quality brand that's not gonna blow up or start a fire if you install it correctly, is around $1,000. It's cheaper in the long run because you're just buying diesel fuel to run it versus a bunch of propane. But you also have to cut a hole, hook up an exhaust, and mount it into your vehicle. And you have to allocate an entire place in your van build for the diesel heater. So if you're somewhere like the Carolinas where your winters aren't as harsh compared to like Canada or upstate New York, I'm not sure if it's really worth it because most of the year we don't need heat, and I wouldn't want to take up room in my van for a diesel heater when I'm not really going to be using it that much. That's just me personally. To each their own. Van life isn't one size all. I hope this was helpful. Don't get Vanboozled.